So today's video is a couple life lessons from the Pirahã, and I've talked about them in several videos. So this comes from a book, Don't Sleep, There Are Snakes, where Dan Everett spent about 30 years on and off living with this Amazonian tribe, who best represents our hunter-gatherer ancestors, unburdened by the nature of thinking. And so one of the things that is most striking about them is the absolute absence of anything that we would call mental health problems. They have zero anxiety, zero depression. In one case, Dan was talking about someone in his family who had committed suicide, and it just seemed totally out of the question and bizarre. The only thing they could do is laugh and say, Pirahã do not kill themselves. It was a total mystery why someone would do such a thing. And so they really are a look at what so many of us are going for with meditation, with mindfulness. They are the epitome of the immediacy of experience. And so let's get into a couple of the tricks. What is it culturally that their secret that seems to lead to this ultimate joy? They laugh so much, even though they are continuously confronted with health problems and death, and their life expectancy is very, very short. And yet they are the happiest people on the planet. So what is their secret? Well, one thing is they don't buy into stories beyond the immediacy of experience. And so if I went fishing, I could come back and tell someone else I was fishing, and that person would actually buy into it because I had the immediacy of experience, and they don't mind if a story is told as long as that person telling the story directly experienced it. Anything beyond that, it completely gets shut down. And so if I come to you and I say, Joe is fishing, it's completely irrelevant. They don't care because I'm just telling you something that someone else told me. So one thing that we can take home from this is so many of the stories. Think about the news and how many convoluted stories we hear from other people who are telling them. And one thing we can take from this is let's go back to the immediacy of experience. And so the only stories that are important to me is those that I experience myself, or maybe I'll allow one level to it where if you've directly experienced something, that's okay too. Truth. This is a really, it's one of those subtle things that we don't catch in our culture, but truth to the Pirahã is immediate experience. There's nothing about truth that is outside of immediate experience. Now, the reason that's so different from us modern humans is that for us, truth is a concept. We actually buy into this notion that there's a physical world that's beyond our senses. And we talk about things like atoms and, quantum gravity and, theoretical stuff that goes on, the unconscious and things that are far beyond our immediate experience. And because even something as simple as a room. And so if you leave a room and you buy into it continuously existing, even when you're not there, that's part of that philosophical part of truth. For them, it's again all about the immediacy of experience. And so the immediacy of experience is truth. And so truth to the Pirahã is a canoe. Truth to the Pirahã is fishing. And you can see how when us, quote, modern humans, we debate so much about the conceptual version of truth because we believe the truth is somehow beyond our immediate experiences. And so the fascinating thing about this group is they're the happiest people on the planet, but they're not caught up in thinking. And so that's the connection. And so for the rest of us who get caught up in conceptualizing and thinking, we keep thinking that the best way to get out of the thinking problems is more thinking. We build greater bureaucracies, greater complexities of thought. And this is exactly the opposite of the Pirahã. They have no laws. They have no formal government. They have very, very few cultural taboos. And so one of them is even telling anyone what to do. So that's one of the things that they socially frown upon because every person is an equal. And so somehow they've achieved this equality in their society. They've achieved happiness. They've achieved all the things that we're looking for in mindfulness and meditation. And they've achieved it without doing one bit of mindfulness, one bit of meditative practices. And that's a really huge hint. So the rest of us, we're trying to get back to some state that they seem to, it just comes naturally to them. So there's a few hints there. Sticking with the immediacy of experience, even when it comes to stories. And if you just take one day and just say, okay, nothing is true outside of my immediate experience, that alone can be a life changer.